everyone. We are live. We are live. We are live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram, and we are live on YouTube. Good morning. This is so exciting. Let's share the broadcast. Let's take just a moment to share the broadcast. And everyone. I think my computer automatically comes up that I'm live, and so it starts to talk. But let's just go ahead and share the broadcast. We're going to talk about marital etiquettes. Marital etiquettes. Hey, I am excited. Invite a friend to join with us. It's going to be amazing. Yes, it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to share the broadcast. Give me a hot minute. I'll go ahead and share the broadcast with someone. Okay, share. Okay. I believe it's shared. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. We're sharing the broadcast. We're sharing the broadcast. Take a hot minute and share it with someone. Yes. Okay. Take a hot minute to share it. Facebook is so complicated. I just don't get Facebook. So let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. Mondays, I know for some are groggy, but for us, Monday is like any other day. Monday is the weekend, all right? So welcome today. We're going to start off the week, kick off the week with this topic, marital etiquettes. You know, there's so many behaviors that people participate in that are inappropriate, but they don't know it's inappropriate because they have not been taught, or they don't know any better, or they know, but they ignore it. So today, what I want to do is take you through a few of the behaviors that you may not have taught much of it, but they are inappropriate. Let's see. I want to send it out for, just give me a couple of, okay. Sending it out. Okay. I'll put this here. So a few behaviors that we may not have taught them to be inappropriate, but really are inappropriate. Maintaining adequate, appropriate etiquette with a member of the opposite sex will save your marriage. It will ensure that you have trust and respect in your marriage. A lot of people don't recognize how much they disrespect their spouse. We think that disrespect is when the spouse is present. That is not true. Disrespect could be when the spouse is not there. When the spouse is not there. And so I want to bring awareness to some of these behaviors that will cause you to get yourself in trouble. Let me explain. The reason these etiquettes are important, they are to protect you. I remember growing up, I was going to a particular church, and they were very keen on the youth. I loved the church for the fact that they paid so much attention to the youth. And they would say things like, don't have sex, don't smoke, don't do this, don't steal, you know, the basics, but they were very big on premarital sex. They were very big on that. You cannot be having sex when you're not married. So because of that, guess what they did? They did a lot of youth activities. And what that did is keep the youth busy, right? The enemy, Satan, would give work to the idle mind. So this church had a lot of youth activities to keep the youth away from doing things that we're not supposed to be doing. And I think that's good. That's important. That's crucial. Because if you're not busy, you find something to do. You legit find something to do. So they didn't want that to be the case. So they kept the youth, all the youth, they kept us busy. They kept us busy. And this is the other thing they did that I loved. This is the other thing they did. They will have us go to events together, all of us. So they had rules set in place. So you can't be with a member of the opposite sex by yourself. So if you're going to the movies, they won't recommend you go to the movies with your quote unquote boyfriend, which you weren't supposed to really have a boyfriend prior to a certain age. So even though they seem like rules, I remember being 19, 20 years old when I was in college, where there's nobody to tell you what to do. You're kind of like on your own and you're grown. But even at that point, I remember clearly being told that the rules that are instituted are to protect you. They're not to harm you. Etiquettes protect you, they don't harm you. Etiquettes protect you, they don't harm you. Your behavior, when you behave appropriately, it protects you, it doesn't harm you. So I want to bring that into mind, that the more you pay attention to who you are, what you do, etc., the more you will be able to protect your marriage, even when your spouse is not there. Because we think that the spouse has to be there before we behave well. Okay? So I'm going to just dive right in. There are things that hurt us that are not supposed to hurt us, but they hurt us because we did not pay attention. A lot of people are walking around here very ignorant, right? Very ignorant. So I'm here to help you figure out certain behaviors that are very inappropriate. So today, I want you to comment. I want to hear you. I want to know that you're here. So today, right? So let's keep those thumbs up coming. Let's keep sharing the broadcast, because I'm going to dive right in and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to just run the race and just be done today. All right. We have time today. So we'll make sure we get this topic, we complete it. All right. Transparency, number one. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? In the morning, my voice can be somehow. Transparency is the number one thing that will save your marriage when it comes to behaviors that are inappropriate. You need to be open and honest with your spouse about your interactions with members of the opposite sex. Like, don't sit there and think, so what? I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want. No, be open and honest. What's transparency? That's one of the tenets of my lit structure, or my lit concept, which is love, intimacy, and transparency. If you have transparency in marriage, I'm telling you, there's no way you will get yourself on unnecessary trouble. What is transparency? A lot of people that are married don't allow their spouse to even answer their phone. I'm not saying you must answer their phone, but what I'm saying is, let's say you're in the shower and your phone rings and I see the call and I feel like, okay, this might be an important call. You answer. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's whatever. You just answer and give it to them, or you pick up the phone and say, hey, here's the phone. Transparency is being okay with that. When someone is not transparent, they get bothered that you touch their phone. Someone made a joke and said the phone becomes like a soap. You take the phone in the shower because you can't leave your phone for a minute. A lot of marriages will break if spouses challenge themselves to swap phones for the day. It will break because the people that are calling you and texting you and doing whatever, it will break. The marriage won't work. A lot of folks, their marriage will not work if they were to swap phones for the day. But they're not going to do it I'm not telling you to do it, because if you already have trust issues in your marriage, don't go do this. Because there's a reason why you're not trusting your spouse. There's a reason why. So don't go do this. But whatever it is, I'm just putting it out there. A lot of folks are not transparent. If you receive a text message and delete the text before you get home, you're not transparent with your spouse. If a friend of yours calls you and you can't tell your spouse, oh, I spoke to John the last time. I spoke to James, the last time, and he said da 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 da. If you can't say that to your spouse, you're not being transparent. You're not being transparent. A lot of times when situations happen in marriages, the reason a lot of spouses take it very hard is because other people are aware that you've been talking to James this whole time, but your spouse doesn't know. So when your spouse finds out, they get upset and don't know how to get over it. Transparency is key on how you deal with a member of what? The opposite sex. Last week, I mentioned that a lot of times we're like, well, what's wrong with having a friend of the opposite sex? When you're married, those things don't apply to you. When you're married and you have friends of the opposite sex, it could even be that the woman has her friends at her house all the time. That's even dangerous. Do you hear what I'm saying? That the woman has her friends at the house all the time. That's even dangerous. That's even dangerous. The point is a member of the opposite sex. Because a lot of times, the friend is just there with no problem. If there's transparency, that's okay. There's trust. But with lack of transparency, your friend may show up when you're not there. Something may have went down. They could have spoken. Listen, I'll talk about the behaviors. You make the decision at the end of the day. But if you're transparent with your spouse, anything you cannot tell your spouse, is something that proves you have something to hide. Anything you hide ultimately will come to the open. And anything you hide can cost you a lot. So let's keep going. Respecting boundaries. So many people don't know how to respect boundaries. Personal and emotional boundaries with others. A lot of situations can be misconstrued. Let me explain. Are y'all here? Let me explain. Years ago, when I was in college, I believe I was probably like 19, 20. I went to see my boss. I used to be a French customer service agent for this big company. And I went to see my boss about something. When I entered his office, he opened his door and he left it open. And I sat down and spoke with him. That did something to me. I was young, I was naive, but I never forgot that gesture. He consciously, because when I entered, I closed the door behind me. He left it open. He went back. He got up from his seat, went and opened the door. And I was like, I wonder why he did that. But it never left me. When I became married, when I got married, I thought of that event. I thought of what he did. And I was like, oh, I get it. I get it because there are people that will lie on you. There are people that will lie on you. There are also people that will misconstrue. So if you have a member of the opposite sex in your office, and I'm saying this even for men and women of God, you're in your office, you're seeing someone. First of all, you really shouldn't. I know they talk about privacy and this and that, but you need to have somebody else. If you're seeing a member of the opposite sex or something, somebody else needs to be around. Because not only does that protect you as the men and women of God, it also protects the other person. Okay? Like I said, I was part of a particular church that if they came to see you, if the church leaders or anyone, like let's say men came to see you as a church leader, first of all, he will always come with somebody else. he will always come with somebody else. But in the case that the men came by themselves, if they come to the house and they're alone, they will not enter the home unless you're there with your spouse. If you're a woman, they won't enter. If you're a man and there's a man coming, they will see you. But if it's a woman, they will never enter the house unless it's two people. Even though at first I was like, I don't get it. Like, what's the problem? It's like, you may not lie, but the person they're seeing can lie on them and say they touched me. They try to, flirt with me. They try to. So to prevent all of that, respect boundaries, respect emotional boundaries, respect personal space. Anything can be misconstrued. I learned this other thing too. When you are a member of the opposite sex, be careful as a married man, as a married woman, touching other people. Something as simple as a shoulder. As a man, don't come touching nobody's shoulder. Don't touch another woman's shoulder. Don't do it. And you're like, but it's just a shoulder. I'm just giving them a hug, or I'm just hope. Don't do it. Now, you may be in a relationship that's like, oh, you're my brother, you're my sister. If that's very clear and that's very established, where you're like, there's no way I will sleep with this man, with this woman, because she's like my sister. There are relationships that are like that. I recognize it. Even then, I will still be leery because you're so comfortable that you can overdo things and go over the boundaries because you're so comfortable with each other. Just watch out. Don't touch the member of the opposite sex. Or what if you're giving them a hug? Give them a hug if you need to. So this doesn't say don't ever at all, but there are parts of people that you touch that can be problematic. The same way you don't touch, you don't make comments on their clothes and don't do it. Imagine you comment on a woman who is wearing like a bustier and you comment, wow, your dress is so nice. For what? For what? Your lips are great. I love the lip color. For what? Don't do it. I know it seems so harsh. Like, what do you mean by that? The thing about infidelity, you will come to find out that a lot of infidelity did not start intentionally. Let me be the first to tell you, a lot of infidelity did not start by the spouse going and saying, I'm going to cheat. They are the cheaters that are just cursed to cheat. Those they're there. There are men that have no concept of what, they just sleep with anything and everything. We're not talking about those men, those wayward men. We're not talking about them. We're talking about genuine men, because there are good men out there. There are men who don't cheat. There are men. Just believe that there are men who don't cheat. Just believe it, because there are. But those men who don't cheat can innocently end up in a situation that can make them very uncomfortable, that can create something they didn't intend to. So maybe you have a spouse who doesn't like talking much, or maybe they feel like every time I talk to my wife, she wants to talk back, or she wants to judge me. And so they feel more comfortable talking to outsiders. I'll get there. Let me pause that. Respect boundaries. That's it. Boundaries, personal space. Don't get too close to the member of the opposite sex. Don't comment on their stuff, nothing. It's not your responsibility to make another woman, another man feel good. It's not. If you want to make them feel good, give them the word of God. Say something uplifting and leave it at that. Respect boundaries. Number 3, maintain modesty. I look on social media, and please, you can call me 100 years old, whichever way. I don't care. I don't care, because I came from dressing I dress. Listen, thank goodness that Facebook didn't bring those memories. Because booty cracking shorts, I was one of those. So I'm not coming to you like someone who's holier than thou. No, I wasn't holy at all. But thank God for mercy. Thank God for his grace. He's found me. And I encountered God and my life changed. It's not about going to church. I noticed that because I was born and raised in a church. So it wasn't about going to church, because even though I was going to church, I was in that stage. I was going to church. I knew what was good, what wasn't right, and I still was dressed inappropriately. I believe for me, what shook me was I had to come to a point where I recognized, oh my gosh, nobody told me I was dressed inappropriately. I'm telling you, nobody told me ever, Ruth, you're wearing a dress, the dress I used to wear, because listen, I had an hour-shaped glass. What is it called? Hourglass, hour shape, like hourglass shape, whatever. What do you call that? Debbie, help me. My body was intact. I had a really nice body. I was very, very skinny. 80 pounds. The most I went to was like 90 pounds. Before I got married, then I went to 140. Then the numbers kept climbing after that. There's something marriage does to you. It gives you something to prove that you're married. Hourglass shape. Thank you, Debbie. Hourglass shape. My shape was intact. My waist was 22. My waist was 22. As small as I was. And my hips, 22. And then you have 36. So just do the math. I looked very good. Some of us were aging with grace. I think I'm looking better than before, but hey. Listen, I wore the clothes and people wanted to go buy the clothes just because they saw it on me. And then, so there are things that I could wear, and you have no boobs. So, I wear anything. But today I look at couples and they dress and they walk out. It's the women. Because the men is not walking out with a Speedo, eh? The men is not wearing any sexy shorts or no, it's the women. The women who want to expose themselves because society has told them for you to be sexy, be naked. So women who are dressed in anyhow in the church and outside of church. Body cons are nice. But if your body doesn't con, please don't go wear the body con and come distract our eyes. Wear what will fit you. Wear what looks good on you. Don't be used as a pun. Like don't a pun, right? So don't walk around like, oh, I'm with my husband, I want to be sexy. Yeah, you're with your husband. But you see, the thing about men that a lot of young people who are slaying don't know. A lot of young people who are slaying, dressing anyhow, don't know. Is that the man, when he hasn't married you, he wants to see you with less clothes. But once he marries you, he becomes possessive. We're not talking possessive abusive, but the man is looking and saying, no, that's mine. Don't no man want you looking out, going around for his friends come over and you're wearing booty cracking shorts. His friends come over and you're wearing like very tight Shein dresses. Don't no man wants to see that. So if you're a young lady, millennial married folks that walk around dressing anyhow with your split coming to your vajayjay, please, if nobody told you, I'm telling you today, for someone who didn't have someone, listen, I'm my sister's keeper. I will forever be my sister's keeper. Forever be my sister's keeper. Maybe you don't know. Because back in the day in church, the older women, they will show you, even the Bible says it, the older women will show the younger ones how to behave, how to dress and stuff like that. But today, can you tell nobody nothing? In church, you're singing in the choir wearing a white dress that is showing your tongue. All of us have to sit and watch you singing. You can't catch the Holy Ghost because you're wearing a white dress that is transparent. We came to worship for real. We can't worship because now we're looking at your shape. Listen, I didn't come to play this morning. If the grace has come and found me to come and do this every morning, I'm coming with the truth, nothing but the truth. And you know what? It's not going to be for everybody's ears. But I'm not here to condone any evil behaviors. I'm not here to condone. There are things you just don't know. I didn't know the way I dressed was inappropriate. I'm going to be honest. But I dressed very inappropriately. So what did I say? Maintain your modesty. When you get married, get it correct. Even before you're married, get it correctly that, look, the way I look matters. Dress classically. Look nice. I'm not saying don't be sexy at all. No, you are sexy is not clothes, oh. It's the way you carry. It's not about clothes. It's not about let me take more. No, I can wear mumu, which I'm very comfortable in mumu. You know what mumu is? Mumu is like those dresses. You just put it on. The man is looking for your shape. He can't find the shape. That's what I wear. But even in that mumu, the mumu can be ripped. You understand? It's not about, I saw the shape. No, it's that you are here. So when you're going places, don't embarrass your husband. And I'm speaking to the ladies for this one. Because this man won't wear Speedo. Even if you tell him wear tank top, let's go. He won't show no muscles. He won't do it. The immature ones will be dressing anyhow. But a man, he will dress up and look nice. Then you are wearing a dress that is about 24. I sew. So when you come do your dress, as a woman, here's the tip. When you sit, your dress will go up. I stopped wearing dress that come to my knees ages ago, 10 years ago. Because you know what I realized? I'm a short woman with long legs. I am a short woman with long legs. So in other words, if somebody is 5'5" or 5'7", 5'6", they're standing by me, my legs are as long as their legs. But my torso is very short. Does that make sense? So I'm short because my torso is very short, but my legs are long. So anything that they sell at the store, I can't wear it. It's not for me to wear. I can't. Because if I sit down, it's going to show. It's going to show between my legs. It's going to show. So I can't wear. Do you understand? So it depends on the occasion. You're going on a date with your husband. Okay, look, decent, but cover some parts. I love spaghetti strap. Excuse me. I love spaghetti straps. I do. I love it. But I can't, you look at my pictures. You won't find me wearing spaghetti strap. That's one of my favorite, but I just can't. Why? It shows my shoulders. It shows all of this and shows my shoulders. I love, so I'll wear it and put a blazer on it. Am I telling you don't wear spaghetti strap? If that floats your boat, please wear it. But understand that there are certain things that when you wear, spaghetti straps always seems to have like a round or V-necks. So your boobs are pushed like this and you are just, my dear, don't do it. And you might think my man is okay with it. My man is okay with it. A lot of men just don't know how to straightforward tell you what they need and want. They like to behave to show you. They don't like to say it. Protect yourself, your marriage, and everything else. Because if you're dressing like that, your friends will come to your house and look like that. You're not coming over here wearing booty cracking shorts, not over here in my house. No, you won't. You won't. You'll be too uncomfortable because I don't dress like that in my house. But you look around, you look at your friends. How do they dress to come home? They don't respect you. They don't respect your spouse. Because if your friend is sitting on your couch, booty cracking, this, breast out, back all out, what are you doing? You want to expose your men to what? I'm speaking to women because women do this. Because the man he won't wear a Speedo in the public. It's you that will wear the Speedo and go out and show. I think I beat the topic enough. I'm done. That's it. Maintain your modesty. You will still look good. A classy woman is hard to find these days. Be that woman who is classy. Change your closet. Single or married, change your closet and be classy. That shows respect to your spouse. Avoid intimate discussions. Now I'm here. When you have conversations with the opposite sex, a lot of people like to, talk to their friends and, go deep. You want to go deep. Avoid discussing personal and intimate matters. This is not what kind of friend you have that you're so comfortable, or even a family member, you want to talk about your sexual life with your spouse. You don't discuss your sexual life with your spouse with another person. Never. Oh, my wife is not good in bed. Or the woman is telling my husband is not good in bed. For what? You're telling the person to do what? So if you come and tell me your wife is not good in bed, you're trying to tell me you want me to show you. That's what you're saying to me. As close as we may be, if you come to me like that, I'm going to look at you and say, do you want me to help you? Is that why you're coming to me? Because that don't make no sense. So for you to close the portals of wrong behavior, portals that are inappropriate, marital etiquettes is what we're talking about. Share the broadcast with someone. Marital etiquettes. There are etiquettes that will protect you. Listen, I personally know men who were accused of rape. I personally know men who were accused of rape. One in particular went to jail. They were accused of rape and they did not rape the person. Why do you not want to protect yourself as a man? You have a friend, you want to go hang out, and you're talking to the person and she's wearing skimpy. And not, if a woman is wearing skimpy, say, I'll be back. Don't talk to that woman. You're talking to a woman and she's looking up. You're like, look, because if it's somebody you know, if it's somebody you're not going to see again, okay, by all means, talk to them, right? But if you're talking to a woman, maybe she's a church member or something, every time she comes to your office, that's where she wears the tightest dresses. No. Have a cloth. When she enters, you say, cover yourself. You do that once or twice as a man of God. Immediately, you know what will happen? The minute she has a meeting with you, she knows to put on some mumu and come. It's very important. So whether in church or not, we're dressing like the world. Sometimes I can't tell if it's church or it's club, because I used to go to the club. So I don't know. I can't tell the difference. Are we in church or are we in club? Because those tight body cons, it's not for church. I'm telling you, it's not for church. Maybe nobody told you, but I'm here to tell you it's not for church. So please. So we're talking about intimate conversations. Don't go have intimate conversations with people. Intimate conversations with others where you're speaking and you're saying, oh, I just, I don't like, I like this is what the kind of stuff I like. Even if you're not talking about your spouse, don't discuss the kind of things you like, whether it's sex position, whether it's, it doesn't matter. Oh, I like massages. It's an unnecessary discussion because you're having it with the wrong person. What you like intimately is what you should tell your spouse, not a friend. And I personally have come across men who like to talk about things like this. They just like to talk about, hey, we are adults, let's talk. We are an adult, but I'm not the one. I remember telling some men that I knew they were married. I remember telling them when I was single, I said, I don't want to sow a seed into my marriage that I will have to pay for. I remember telling them that, you see, you're talking to me, I'm a conversator. I love to talk. If you ask my college friends, I used to talk them to sleep. Like literally my husband would get home and he would say, oh, Ruth, so he would lay on the bed. He can't sleep. He would say, oh, Ruth, so he would ask me a question because he knows that question. I will talk him into sleep. So I talk until he falls asleep. To this day, we've been married almost 11 years. I talk him to sleep because talking it's my gift. I can talk, I can teach, so I recognize that. So if I'm talking to a man who becomes enticed, I have to remind them that what you're seeing is someone who has a gift to conversate. I have a gift of writing. I have a gift of, so if I'm talking to you, it sounds like, wow, this is everything I want to hear. Oh, my wife, she's not articulate enough. My wife, she's not too, I understand. And I've been exposed to certain things. So there are topics, I can talk a bit about every topic because I was exposed to a lot. But it doesn't, I have to remind the men, I won't allow the enemy to use me as an agent to destroy, especially a man of God. I am the type that if you are a man of God and you mistakenly come for me, I'm the type that will correct you. I'm telling you, I will correct you because I smell it from a mile away. A lot of women, they like to, oh, this man came after me and he's married. Look at him. And he came after me. Oh, congratulations. Your job, you are an ambassador every time to stand as a witness of God in all times, at all things, and in all places. At all times, in all things, and in all places. You are an evangelist. You are sent to do the work in every situation. So if by whatever reason, there is a man who has a weakness, there is a man who has a weakness, but especially he's called and anointed to do the work, you help him by saying, you're being attracted to me, but I want to tell you, I guarantee you, if you leave your wife and come for me, I will be the same thing your wife is doing. Okay, the way you are mad at her is the same way you'll be mad at me. It's just that it looks good because I'm out here. I'm on the side. So don't have conversations with people thinking, oh, they're the best that's ever happened. That is not the case. Don't go to work and talk to your co-workers and be intimate with your co-workers. Don't do it. Let me tell you something. If you forget everything I say today, remember this. And this is for you. Use it as a quote. Proximity yields to liking. Proximity yields to liking. What that means is the closer you are to someone, you're going to like them. You know how people say, oh, now I like her. Like, I didn't really know this person because you got close to them. When you get close to people, you like them. When you get closer to someone you didn't expect to like, you like them. Whether it's two girls, two men, it doesn't matter. Anybody you get close to, you will like them. Because when you get close to people, you get the opportunity to know them intimately in order to say, I like this person. So proximity yields to liking. So how do you stop liking? Maintain your distance as a member of the opposite sex. Maintain your distance. Have I beat that enough? Avoiding intimate discussions. So if a man comes to you as a woman and wants to have sexy conversations, stop him. Just stop. Because I know where it's going to end. What did I say? A lot of people that end up cheating didn't mean to cheat. A lot of women that cheat, which cheating, we'll leave it there another day. But a lot of women who end up in that situation, they didn't mean to. But the men said something their husband wouldn't say. Because many women are married to very unromantic men. Unromantic because they just don't know any better. And they don't want to learn. So a lot of women are married to men who are not romantic. So when they meet that young man who is like, who knows how to put things in order, put things here, there. You look at the muscles, you're just like, hey, let me save you. Don't entertain any intimate conversations. It will save you loads. Because you have to then delete it. Anything you have to delete, you're hiding from your spouse. Your spouse can't trust you. Anything you have to delete. So you flirt. Flirting, as I learned, I was a psych major. Flirting is a survival skill. Can you imagine? They say flirting is a survival skill. So a lot of people, they just flirt to stay alive. A man who is unhappy at home comes to work and he's flirting. The same man that can flirt with his wife. A woman who doesn't flirt at all, she gets to work and now she wants to move her body some way, somehow. It's a survival skill. They're trying to survive. So if you're single and a married woman comes to you and says, oh, and is starting to make comments on your clothes and your this and your that, watch out, oh. She's surviving. She wants to be alive. She wants to be happy. She wants to happy herself. That's why I tell side chicks, I say, look, let me help you as a side chick. So if you're a woman and your man has a side chick, don't go fighting the side chick. Pray for her and advise her if you see her. Advise her if you see her. Side chicks, the thing is not yours. You're stealing the thing. And because you are a rebound means that that's not the original thing. I ordered something, it's not what I really wanted. I'm going to order this one. So if you're a side chick, you are a rebound. I know today that I hear that slave queens, some parts of Africa, and maybe even here, slave queens are, they take, it's like a title they want to wear. Hey, keep slaying, but you are a rebound. Anything that's a rebound will not fulfill the need of that man. So if you're a woman, you are a rebound to another man. You won't fulfill his needs. He may even go to the extent of leaving his wife for you, but you will never, listen, the way you caught it is the way somebody will catch it. It's just a simple tip. Let me help you. It's just a simple tip. So, hey, seek for yourself. Every good and perfect gift, God wants you to have the best of everything. So don't go perch yourself next to somebody's thing. Then he's with the wife and your heart is, hey, smart men don't leave their wives, though. I said it here first. Smart men will never leave their wives. Even if unknowingly they came for you. Why unknowingly? Because they thought you were a friend. So they can tell you things. And while they were telling you, you two are preparing and planning yourself to show the man that you can do better. You can't do better than a wife you married. I'm telling you. You can do better than a wife you married. Like I said, there are things nobody tells us. I'm the one. I'm here. I'll tell you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get your own man. There are seeds when you sow. It follows you the rest of your life. Side chicken is a seed. You sow that seed, it will follow you. That means women will never leave you alone in your marriage. So please, where are we? Be mindful of body language. There are certain body language that are suggestive. Be mindful of it. When you're dealing with a member of the opposite sex, be mindful. Because men, they operate with their eyes. With their eyes. So the way you carry yourself around them, be careful. All right? Just be careful. Remember, when I lived in New York, there was a lady I saw after church. Her church was beside my dad's church. So she was passing by. And when she came, she had this is a woman who was one of the leaders in the church. Here was see-through, all of here. And the woman is endowed. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, endowed everywhere. So she came and she was talking to me, and I'm a woman and I couldn't look at her face because her boobs were distracting me. I was like, yeah, because the way she had pushed the twins together. So I'm looking at the woman, I'm like, and so I said, good morning, can you get ready for school? Thank you. So I said, no, I said something because you can tell by now that I speak my mind. So I said, you wore this to church? You know what she told me? She said, where is the pastor going to look if I don't wear this? That's what the woman told me. She said, where is the pastor going to look if I don't wear this? I think she was one of the choir leaders. And so I never forgot the story. I said, whoa, and I was just in my early 20s. This woman was well into going into her 40s, but she had really dressed. She said, where's the pastor going to look? It's not like the pastor was married to another woman in the church, obviously, the first lady. But this woman made it her business to make sure the pastor has the location, that the pastor's eyes were not left alone. The Jezebels in the church, we won't go there today, another day. The Jezebels that are sent to just destroy the work of God. May God have mercy on us. So you hear, men of God have done this, and you two, you are talking. You don't know that the thing they're saying about, the men of God, you too, you don't know that it's just an attack on the church. And you are the church. You are the bride of Christ. So people are attacking the bride, and you are saying, yeah, attack the bride. That's how they are. Yeah? No. That's not how men of God are. No. Those that are not called, they are not called. But the ones that are legit called, sometimes you fall into temptation. You fall into issues. You are men. When I say you are men, you are a human. You could be a woman of God, a man of God. Listen, like I said, I've been exposed. I've seen some things. I've seen some things, and I can tell you, sometimes it's not intentional. Yes, there are those men of God who take advantage of the young people and, misuse them. I know, and I also know some. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that truly, legitimately didn't know. Music ministers, you go minister, and the people that back you up, they backed you up. See where I'm going? You are a music minister because there's something about the choir, the singers, and the instrumentalists. There's just something about that. The singers and the instrumentalists. There's something. And so you just went to minister. Just minister. Then they send a beautiful young lady to take care of you. You had no evil intent. And she wants you to mentor her to sing better because she backed you and she's so honored. And she wants to please mentor me so I can sing better. I'm here speaking to the kingdom because we're taking back the kingdom. All the people that are in there that are kind of looking like part of the sheepfold when they are not part of it, but they are here to destroy. We're talking about them. We're talking to them. And so unknowingly, you do something you didn't mean to do. And people will judge you. Men of God this, men of God that. No. Two sides to every story. We're going to correct some errors, a lot of errors. Today I'm going. You see, I'm going. I'll do 10 more minutes because I want to finish this topic. So I'll do 10 more minutes. Be mindful of your body language. Communicate with your spouse. Discuss things that make you comfortable so you can set boundaries. Talk about it. Like, look, if I'm with a member of the opposite sex, blah, 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 like, talk to your spouse about their comfort level. Like, are you okay with me talking to this person? I remember I had a guy friend. I was very close to the guy friend because I knew the guy friend when I was single before my spouse came. This is like blood. Like, this person, I was very connected to this person. I tell everything to this person. When I got married, I recognized, oh my gosh, things that I'm telling this person, I haven't even told my husband. As hard as it was, I had to pause and put a break on the relationship. Because understand that because I was so close to this person, let's say my husband did something that I didn't like, I will go to the person and say, oh, I never did it actually. But I'm saying I would have went to the person easily and said, oh, look at what he did. In an attempt for him to want to save you and protect you because you're his sister, that can lead to something else. I'm not telling you anything I don't know. I pray what I'm saying ministers to you differently. My delivery may not even be the delivery you're used to. It may not be a delivery you're used to, but forget the delivery. Hear the message I'm giving you. It's a friend. This is just a friend. He was there before your spouse. I remember, think about this. I'm telling you this because I had to go through some things for me to know. I had a friend, my best friend, who her spouse, right? My best friend was a woman. Her spouse, amen, I'm glad this is ministering to you, who is a girl. Her husband was jealous of me. Did you hear that? Her husband was jealous of me. If her husband is jealous of me, I can't imagine my husband not being jealous of a man that I'm this close to. I'm just saying. Not that he showed any level of jealousy, not that, but because my friend would tell me things before she told her husband. You see, the spouse that we have, they don't understand that some relationships are deeper than deep. But I want to bring it to your awareness that your spouse can be envying the relationship you have with a friend. Whether it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend, your spouse can envy that relationship. Let me tell you why they will envy it. A lot of times they want what you have with the person. They want to be your friends. A lot of people are married that are not friends with their spouse. I remember when I first got married, my husband told me, he said, I want a friend. He said, I want a friend. And I recognized that friendship was something that was important for him. One, because he didn't have friends. Do you understand what I'm saying? He doesn't have friends. You know how guys hang out, they go for a drink? No, that's not what my husband is. And when we're getting married, somebody said to me, oh, this guy, you sure he's too good to be true? I don't think there's any man with no friends. The man, it's been 11 years. I'm looking for his friends. I'm still looking for his friends. Some have come, many have come and go. But they envy that relationship. And because girls were so open, women were so open, ladies were so open to women, were open to men. So when we have a buddy man, we let the spouse know this one is my buddy. And they see it and they are jealous. So you have to be mindful, because you will find yourself choosing your friend over your husband. So be mindful of that. So tell them anything. Oh, I was talking to this girl and she said this to me. Or I was talking to this man and he said that. Talk to your spouse about it. Let them help you. And men, if you're a man watching me, the thing about women is we have some serious, keen, detective, good eye. I can look at a friend of yours, that's a girl, and I can tell you, this one, she's trouble. I'm telling you, this one, she's trouble. There are women who see you and they are just mad looking at you and your spouse. They're just mad. Your wife will help you. Listen to your wife. Your wife will help you. Listen to her. So if your wife comes and says, be careful of that girl, I'm telling you, she smelled the girl. Usually women, it's a natural tendency. So if you're a man and you're like, you're so jealous, it's not always jealousy. It's not jealousy. Some of us don't have a jealous bone in our body at all. But you know when a woman is up to something. You just know it. I'm a woman. I know when a woman is up to something. Yeah. How do you protect your marriage? You listen. This is a tough one. When this life is over, I'm about to close in 5 minutes. When it's over, send it to a friend you love. Send it to a man you love. Send it to a brother. Send it to a sister. Send it to somebody you love. Let them listen to the harsh truths of marital etiquettes. There are etiquettes. Everywhere you go, there are etiquettes. There are behaviors you can't take to the White House. There are behaviors you can't take it to your job. You go to work, and at work, you go flirting at work and get a boyfriend at work. At work, you find a boyfriend at work. The word I want to use, I can't use. But you don't mess up where you eat. Where you eat is your work. You don't go mess around there. Even if you're single, you go dating at work. You don't do that. After you break up with a man, are you going to leave the job? Work is work is work. That's it. Don't go play at work. That's how you feed yourself and your family. There's a comment. Mine does not have friends either, but isn't that hard sometimes before you feel like he needs his friends too? Without that, they're too clingy. Yes, they need friends. That is why, as a married person, married couple, you find other married couples, and you, in a way, sometimes you have to force relationship. Sometimes you just have to force the relationship. Sometimes it's natural, but because men are so, women, we make friends easily. That's how we get ourselves in a lot of trouble too. But men, it's hard. So you, the woman, will have to talk to the other woman and say, hey, we should have dinner. We should do something. Start small, baby steps. Maybe you're not ready to bring them to your home. Take them out, go eat. Go out to eat, and then little by little, you do dinners inside the house, and you swap homes every week, once in a while, so you can continue to date while you're married. Otherwise, the stresses of this life will cause you to just be tired of the marriage. Limit your time alone. When you spend a lot of time alone with the opposite sex, you're going to get yourself in trouble. What did I say? Proximity yields to liking. You're working at work. This is the one co-worker you are always with. And your job doesn't even require you to work with somebody. Your job doesn't require you to work with anybody. But just because you must be, so you're always working with a person. I like working with him. I like working with him. I like working with him. The next day you are there. He takes his hand. He put his hand on your hand. How are you? The next time he graduates and puts it on your shoulder. Another day he comes, he wants to wipe your face. He literally comes and he's wiping your hair from your face. Hey, next thing you know, let's go out for lunch. We are eating at lunch. You ate, the food is so good. Me, I like to eat and I like to talk. So when the food is too good, I talk more. The food is so good now, you are just, now you are talking and you forgot you want to talk about what you did last night. You bring up what you did last night, then the argument, you talk about some arguments you had, and then you talk about things that you like. Hey, now you are bonding, oh. You are bonding. Don't go bonding with a member of the opposite sex. Don't do it. If you're single, don't bond with, the new thing now is two married people that like to, I'm married, you're married, so this is safe ground. It's one of the most dangerous grounds. Let me tell you. I'm married, you're married, so we can both talk about anything and be close. No. I have personally seen couples that they were both married. They left their spouse and came together. Listen, when that demon comes to talk to your ear, nobody can say jack to you. Like, you forget yourself, you forget your senses. I remember there was a man who told me he doesn't care what he loses. He just wants to be with me. I said, oh, so me that you just met, you want to leave your wife of 10 years and come for me. You don't care what you lose. No, it's a life in the pits of hell. You want to leave your wife that you've gone through life with. You want to leave her and come for me that you just met. He's lying to you now. He's lying to you. He's enticed. Remember, whatever they used to like you, whatever attracted them to you is whatever is going to keep going. Maybe the man was looking good when you met him, so buy him some clothes. Let him keep wearing the clothes so you can stay attracted. Maybe the woman had a nice shape. Go to the gym with her. Listen, whatever you want, make it happen. Because you said I do. Nobody forced you. Nobody put a gun to your head. You said I do. You better make it do. You better do the do. You better stay hosted on this thing. You better make it work. We're done. Avoid secrecy. If there's transparency, there's no secrecy. This thing, I should have broken it up in like 3 videos, but I just poured everything. If there's transparency, there's no secrecy. Where you spend, even if your money is not together, where you spend your money, be transparent with your spouse where you spend your money. I've sat here and watched men go on vacation. The wife is sitting home. The man is on vacation with another woman. Some people are bold though. They are bold. All these things come to delay your life. Trust your instincts. If something makes you uncomfortable, know that it's uncomfortable. If you don't like how a certain man hugs you or comes too close to you, make it plain and say, I don't like this. Just say, I don't like it. It doesn't matter who it is. Let me say this to you. It doesn't matter who it is. What we think is, okay, maybe somebody at work. It doesn't matter where it is. Whether you are in the church, whether you are at work, whether anybody who gets too close to you and you don't like it, let it be known. Hey, I don't like this. Just let it be known. I don't like this. Beware. Don't say I didn't come here and tell you. Because you want to open up to a woman that's not your woman. Open up to a man who was willing to listen. If you open up to the member of the opposite sex, you will end up with something with them. I'm telling you. That person has to have a certain position in your life, maybe a person of authority, maybe someone who, but it cannot just be any man. I want to go open up to any man. It is dangerous because the enemy sees what you're going through and capitalizes on it. Okay, the house is rocky. You won't even know when and how you started kissing that man. You won't know. It will just happen. So I always say nobody's exempt. I never look at myself and say, me, I would never. Listen, there's things that I know I won't do. That is why I put boundaries in place. Remember what I said? You must have things ready so that there's no crack in your door. Boundaries have to be set so that you know you don't put yourself. So I have an addictive personality. Did you hear what I said? I have an addictive personality. If I find a certain type of food that is good, I will eat the food until the food can be eaten. I have this dessert that I eat from Applebee's. That's my only reason for going to Applebee's, is that dessert. I ate that dessert when I was 21 years old. I'm facing 40. I'm looking in that direction since I was 21. And I remember because when I got that job, I was 21 years old when I got that job. I was 21. And my coworker and I we went together. We would eat that at lunch every day. I knew where my money went when I was single. I ate my money, literally ate the money. To this day, I eat the same dessert to this day. I have a very addictive personality. So I don't start certain things because I know there are things if I start, I can't stop. I mean, you will need the grace of God, but why should I put God through all of that? There's no need. Let me end with this. Solomon, David went for somebody's wife, Bathsheba. The man, he himself sent the person to go to war. One of his men that went to war. David was getting ready. He looked over there, saw the woman. The woman was taking a shower or something. He looked at her. He said, whoa. Whoa. And what did he do? He went for her. Then he sent Uriah, I think that's the name of the husband, sent him in front, put him in front of when you go to war, put him in the front, let them kill him. He wanted the woman so much that he had them kill the husband so that he can have her. That is what your eyes will do to you. You will see another. That's what the Bible says. It's not about cheating. No, we define cheating a certain way. It's not about cheating. No, he said, anyone who looks at someone and lusts and puts in their heart, I want to be with this person. You look at another man and you say, I wish this was my husband. I wish this was you. You look at the person you wish. Anyone, when you do that, that's adultery. But we have watered down adultery to the place where we think adultery is sleeping with someone. No. Before you sleep, you have cheated emotionally. You have cheated mentally. I will do a session on adultery. So we'll talk about the types of cheating. But for today, have I done the word justice? Have I done it justice? Talking about marital etiquettes. These are etiquettes that you bring in your marriage to protect you. Because proximity yields to liking. You don't want to like somebody, don't get close to them. Period. Dot. Don't do it. Thank you for checking that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I am here to make sure kingdom homes are staying together. I'm here to keep homes together that God has ordained. That God has ordained. And all these things come in between to break homes unnecessarily. My assignment is one, to teach and show and bring deliverance to these homes. The Lord bless you. I am Coach Yeboah. If you've never met me, I am here ordained to speak to couples, but really wives that are frustrated. I've been able to help many wives that are frustrated in their marriage. Everything I'm telling you, some things were not in my book, but the death and resurrection of marriage has things in there that will blow your mind. People tell me one of the things they love about my book, my second book, is the fact that I lead people into prayer. Every time you read a topic like on communication, I lead you into prayer. So you pray over that situation. Even if it's you're talking about something like miscarriage, I lead you into prayer. Believe in what God has said over that situation. Every situation, there is a word attached to it. Find that word and bring deliverance to your life. I say this knowing that the Lord is moving mightily, and this is blessing lives. Please share the broadcast. Let someone know. We're on every day at 7 a.m. Today, I stayed longer because I'm going to drive the kids to school. So I stayed a little longer today. But we usually come on for half hour. All right. The Lord bless you all. Bye-bye. How do you end this?